Yo, my friend, do not ever despise humble beginnings. Today, we're talking about $10 billion companies that all started as home based businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, are you missing your opportunity to build generational wealth because you're not starting unless you can start big, right? I know that's a lot of people's problems is they are trying to start big. They want to blow the doors off. They want to kick in the door and they're despising humble beginnings. Do me a favor as you guys are coming into the room, go ahead, comment in the chat where you're from. Also drop the name of your business and your brand. Let me know what you're working on. I'd love to give you a free business shout out and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. Share this with other folks, man, because while 2020 has been a wild ride, it can still finish strong for you, and you can position yourself to blow the doors off of 2021, but only if you do not despise humble beginnings, ladies and gentlemen. That's the problem. So let me know what you're working on, the name of your business and or your brand, or comment in the chat where you're from, what city as well. And we're going to go ahead and get this party started with the $10 billion businesses that all started from home. Let me know if you can name a couple of these in the comments, and I'll see if you are right. Let's get it. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle, the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite followpreneur from ThorntonOnlineMarketing.com, where we are on a mission to empower working Americans economically through financial literacy with an emphasis on personal brand development and entrepreneurship. And if you have not already checked out the Monetize My Life Bootcamp, where I literally teach you multiple ways to turn your gifts, talents, special abilities into income by creating profitable, sustainable online businesses around those gifts and talents, then you want to go to www.monetizemylifebootcamp.com to check that out. I'll put the link here in the comments, www.monetizemylifebootcamp.com. So today we're talking about despising humble beginnings. Why do you think it is that when someone sets out to start a business, that for some odd reason, everybody thinks they're supposed to start at the top, right? Why do you think that is? Let me know in the comments. Why do you think people, when they set out to do something amazing, that they don't realize that to get good at anything, you first got to be bad, right? Let me know your thoughts on that. And we're going to get into these 10 different billion-dollar companies that all started as home-based businesses. I'm going to give you a little background on each one as well. So I'm actually going to share my screen, guys. Keep those comments coming. Let me know where you're tuning in from, the name of your business and or your brand for that free business shout out. And go ahead and smash that share button if you have not already, so that we can get more people involved in this conversation. Hopefully we can inspire some people who got some great ideas. They've got some ambition. They got the gusto, but they think that if they can't start their t-shirt business with a storefront and a marquee and printing tens of thousands of shirts a day, they can't print just one shirt and sell it and then take the money and re-up and then the next time print 2 shirts and sell it. Why do you think people struggle with humble beginnings? Let's share screen here and let's talk about some of these companies that started from the bottom, as Drake would say. All right, bam, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna remove my branding so that doesn't get in the way. Starting with number one, let me bring this open up just a little bit bigger so that you guys can see it a little bit better. We're going to go with a 150. All right, there we go. So let's look at this, right? Number 10, Disney, right? Let's look at this. When Walt Disney was 16, he dropped out of school to join the Army, but was rejected for being underage. The Walt Disney Company was founded on October 16, 1923, by Walt Disney and Roy O. Disney as the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studios. Walt's first film studio was in his uncle's garage. Walt rigged up a cartoon stand in his uncle Robert's garage using dry goods boxes and spare lumber. These days, Disney has multiple studio locations and reports a revenue of $53 billion, and that was in 2015. You guys know something else interesting about Disney? Disney was fired from a newspaper where he was trying to be the guy who does the cartoon strips. Felisa, welcome this morning. He was trying to be the guy who does the cartoon strips in the newspaper, and he was fired. And they said, man, you have no imagination. Can you imagine somebody telling Disney, the man who's created more imaginary characters and scenes and some of the most recognizable imaginable characters in the world, somebody told him he has no imagination. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know for a fact that it's not easy to get yourself out there, to put yourself out there. And I know that some people will say some mean things about what you got going on, what you're trying to do. But always remember what scripture says. All things are possible for him that believes. I want you to really, really get this. All things are possible for the person. It didn't say all things are possible for the person whose mother believes in him. It didn't say all things are possible for the person whose best friend believes in him. For my married couples out there, it didn't say all things are possible for him or her who's got a spouse that believes in them. There's only one person required to believe. There's only one person required to believe, and that is you, my friend. Walt Disney believed in himself, and he became the biggest creator of imaginary works, or at least the biggest creator, some of the most recognizable imaginary works in the world, after being fired and told that he has no imagination. So number one, or something, we're going from 10 down to 1. Number 10 is the Disney company, right? Number 9, Microsoft. Microsoft was created in a garage in Albuquerque by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in 1975. After dropping out of college, the two focused on programming language software. The garage they worked from was only big enough to fit 2 people. Microsoft is now a multinational technology company with an annual revenue averaging $93 billion in 2015. Microsoft's operating system is used by 80% of computers worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, the garage was only big enough to fit 2 people, right? It was only big enough to fit 2 people after dropping out of college. Let me talk to my college dropouts, right? From one college dropout to another. That doesn't make you a failure. It does not make you a failure. Let me come back full screen on this one, because I want y'all to hear me, and I want y'all to be okay with. Now, if you, my friend, for whatever you're trying to do, want a college degree, then go get one. Right? If that is an ambition of yours, if that is a dream of yours, that's a goal of yours, that's something you promised to a mother or father, and you want one, go get one. But let me also tell you this, man. Don't let anybody tell you that because you don't have one, you're less than. Don't let anybody convince you to believe that, like they told us in school, if you don't go to college, you're going to be relegated to some menial job, or you're not going to be able to win. That is my whole problem with the higher education business, right? And I emphasize business because that's exactly what it is. It's a business, right? The problem is not that a college degree could not help propel you to success in the future. My problem is with how college is sold. College is sold to our young children, and starting at elementary to grade school and really pushed in high school, it is sold as if it is the only way to succeed in America. You got to go to college or else you're going to be a failure in life. It's sold as the only way that you can succeed. It's also sold as a guaranteed way that you will succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of people with college degrees who are not successful as they would like to be. And part of the reason that they are not is because how college was sold to them. All you got to do is get the degree and it's going to be smooth sailing from there. No, man. It's like with anything else. Starting the business don't make you a success, right? Just getting the college degree is the beginning of the hustle. Starting the business is the beginning of the hustle. So I hate the way that college is presented to our children as if it is the only way to succeed. And it's also presented as if it's a guaranteed way to succeed. And both of those are falsities. And we as parents got to be able to step in and give our children the reality that college is, right? College has a place in our higher education, in our society as higher education, but it's got to be kept in proper perspective. Because it's a business, college also has a lot of degree offerings. Well, I ain't even gonna go there. I mean, you can get degrees in a lot of stuff that there's not even jobs for that stuff when you finish the degree. Right? It's crazy because that's the business side of higher education, and we got to be careful there. So number 10, we talked about Disney, a multi-billion-dollar company, $53 billion in 2015, and we're now in 2020. So I can imagine that Disney is worth a lot more than $53 billion per year in 2020, right? Paul Allen and Bill Gates, right? Microsoft, 1975, $93 billion per year. Israel, my friend, what's going on, brother? $93 billion per year by a couple of college dropouts. And they started in the garage that was only big enough for two people. Do not despise humble beginnings. And listen, if you have a business idea and you have a gift, a talent, or special ability that you are trying to turn into a business and you don't know how, then you definitely want to check out the Monetize My Life Bootcamp Masterclass. All you got to do is go to www.monetizemylifebootcamp.com, get yourself registered, pick a time that works for you. It's a pre-recorded masterclass that I did. You will walk away from that class with a game plan and a blueprint on how to get started, but you cannot despise humble beginnings. Let's go to number 8. Let's talk about number 8. Let's see, who do we have at number 8? At number 8, we have Hewlett Packard, right? And these ain't no popcorn brands. These are all companies that you know, like, and trust, right? Hewlett Packard. Let's see. William Bill Reddington Hewlett and Dave Packard started Hewlett Packard in a one-car garage in Palo Alto, California in 1939. They originally invested, it says spent here, right? They originally invested $538 to rent the space. There were times in their product creating that they even used the family oven to finish test products, right? The first financially successful product was a precision audio oscillator. Even with tough competition from companies like Dell, Apple, HP, reported a fiscal 2015 net revenue of $103 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, do not despise humble beginnings, right? Some of you guys have the ability to bake amazing cakes and pies. My wife's uncle does some amazing things with shrimp, right? And I always try to encourage people who've got these gifts and talents, start where you are with what you have and know that is enough, right? And my former life, right, as a street corner pharmacist, they call it flipping, right? I've done this many times in my life. I've watched many people do it, right? Take $10 and buy a product and sell it for 20. And then take that $20 and buy a product that they could sell for 40. Take that $40 and buy enough product that they can turn around and sell for 80. Man, you could do the exact same thing right now today, right? You might invest $25 to get 2 t-shirts printed. Each of those t-shirts, though, sells for $20 a piece. You get out there and you hustle those t-shirts and you sell them. And when you get the $40, you take the $40 back to the wholesaler or whoever did the initial t-shirts from you, and you flip the $40. And now you buy 5 t-shirts worth $20 a piece with the $40. And you sell all 5 of the t-shirts, and now you take the $100 and you flip. You put the whole $100 back into the business. And you get as many t-shirts as you can for the $100, and you hustle till you sell all 10 of those t-shirts, all 20 of those t-shirts, however many you can get for $100. And you flip. And you flip. And you keep flipping and you keep flipping till eventually you buy some equipment so that you can cut out some of the middleman activities so that your profit margin increases. And every dime that you get goes back into the business so that you make yourself more efficient and more profitable over time. Right? Let's look at number 7. Craigslist. Craigslist. Number 7, right? Founder Craig Newmark started Craigslist in 1995 as an email distribution list to friends. Initially, Newmark posted notices of social events in San Francisco area. However, Newmark was surprised when people started to use the distribution list to post their items such as job listings. Craigslist incorporated as a private for-profit company in 1999, and Newmark left his full-time job as a programmer to run Craigslist full-time. Craigslist is still a private company that does not disclose financial information. It is assumed that Craigslist is worth well over $1 billion. In 2012, Peter Thiel said Craigslist would be worth something like $5 billion if it were to run more like a company than a commune. Here's the thing, guys. You talk about somebody else who got laughed at for their idea, right? I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. But there was a company back in the day that was competing with Apple and Microsoft and all of these companies on this technology, right? and the company had something that they was going to release to the market that was going to be phenomenal. He worked for that company, and all the people around him laughed at him when he was doing his little community posting board, because really it was more like a bulletin board when it first started, right? And people laughed and laughed and laughed while they were working on this other project. The other project flopped. He left that company, did his thing, and now nobody even knows what Craigslist is worth. Crazy, right? How many of you guys have put down what it is that you really, really want to do because a few people laughed at it? You think about that. How many of you have put down something that you feel that has been downloaded from the creator into your heart, but because other people laughed at it, you put it down? What if he'd fell victim to getting embarrassed because other people laughed at his little online bulletin board? Because that's what Craigslist started as, like an online bulletin board. You would just go and you would post your events and things of that nature that's going around in the city. People go there and find out, hey, man, there's a happening party going on over here. Hey, there's a nice art gallery showing over here. Hey, there's a nice movie playing over here. And it grew into something special. But if he'd have fallen into, man, people think this is a joke, they laughing at me, they're calling me names, man, let me just focus on my job. Right? Nah. Had a dream, man. Wasn't afraid of dreaming. Right? So let's look at, again, recap the 10 through 7. So number 10 was Disney, right? Disney's now worth over $50 billion a year. Number 9 was Microsoft, $93 billion a year, what they were bringing in 2015. It's 2020. I'm sure it's a lot more than that. Number 8, Hewlett Packard, $103 billion, started in a garage that could only fit 2 people. Number 7, Newmark of Craigslist, 1995. Company worth well over $1 billion, guys. Well over $1 billion. Eliani, what's going on this morning? All right, now let me take a quick commercial break, then we'll be back with the rest of the list. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked right here. Oh, gotta find my commercials first, I guess. Here we go.
What's up, St. Louis? Listen, I see you've been checking out some of my videos on how to build generational wealth. Here's the real key. If you're going to build wealth in America, you must find 1 or 2 ways to get paid for 1 or 2 things that you love to do, and then build systems around those things so that you don't become a slave to your business, but you then start earning true passive income. Listen, I've got a book and online course called the Monetize My Life Influencer Bundle. The book will teach you how to identify your gifts, talents, and special abilities and turn those things into income by packaging and presenting them to the marketplace. The course will teach you how to use social media and build systems just like this video around your products and services so that you can earn that passive income. All you got to do is click the link around this video and get yourself the Monetize My Life Influencer Bundle today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur from ThorntonOnlineMarketing.com. Listen, we're on a mission to help 1,000 families start or grow a business from home in the next 12 months. If you want to be one of them, send me a private inbox and I want to send you an application, right? We can't work with everybody, but if you qualify to work with us, we want to help you start a business and what we believe is the most profitable place to start a business in 2021. And we'll talk about what it takes for you to get rolling with us, but want to help you take your 2020 and flip that thing on its head, and 2021 is going to be your best year ever. So let's look at number 6 on our list of $10 billion companies that started from very humble beginnings, right? And now are worth billions. Let's look at number 6 on the list is Under Armour, right? What is their story? A 23-year-old kid, Kevin Plank, set out to create a solution to sweat-soaked t-shirts that he had to suffer from every time he played football. So he went down to his basement and created Under Armour. Plank was a fullback at the University of Maryland and graduated. And after graduation, he developed his first prototype of the shirt. He gave the shirts to his Maryland teammates and friends who had gone on to play in an NFL. Originally, he sold them from the trunk of his car. Within a year, he had enough of a following to open his own warehouse. A big break for the company came in 1999 when Warner Brothers contacted Under Armour to outfit the feature film Any Given Sunday and The Replacements. The company's revenue for 2018 is approximately $5.2 billion. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the key to entrepreneurship is find a need and fill it. That's it. Every day, you left football practice with a sweaty, wringing wet t-shirt. Man, there's got to be a way. There's got to be some material out there that we can create that's breathable, that can solve this problem. And where did he go to get it done? He went to his mother's basement. He went to his mom's basement and created Under Armour. And he dredged along, selling t-shirts out of his trunk. And one day he gets a call from Warner Brothers, say, man, we're doing this movie called Any Given Sunday. It's based on football. And we don't want our actors wearing this equipment, even though they're doing short scenes and things. We don't want them having sweaty t-shirts at the end of it. Man, can you hook a brother up? He got his big break, y'all. He got his big break. Man, I apologize, but these commercials on these on this website, they're going ham with these commercials. All right, so number 5 is Apple, right? It's Apple. We all know the story. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak founded Apple in 1976. The original name was Apple Computer Incorporated, and its primary goal was to develop computers. The company grew under Jobs' lead. The company was originally operated out of Jobs' parents' garage. Apple is now the most valuable company in the entire world. Started in the garage, y'all. How many of you guys have a gift, talent, or special ability? And you're like, man, this is what some of y'all are doing. As soon as I get enough money to lease this space, to create this storefront, then I'm going to blow up. Then I'm going to start my business. Let me tell you something, man. The reason these guys were able to make it is because they did not have to shell out a whole lot of money and overhead during the developmental phase of the company. I watched people make this mistake. I watched a brother who was making good money selling t-shirts and printing t-shirts out of his apartment. And I was like, man, that's amazing. Keep doing your thing. Oh, man, well, I'm going to actually go and get me a storefront because I think I can make more money. Well, let's look at the numbers. The amount of money that you're making right now. Are you making 4 times the rent of the storefront selling t-shirts out of your house? No, not quite. But I know if I get into the space, I'm going to be able to sell more shirts. That's not how business works. You don't go and get the space until the activities you're doing today can cover the cost of that space 4 to 5 times over. You were telling me, Cortez, I'm selling so many shirts, bro. I'm just outgrowing my apartment. There's t-shirts, there's stuff everywhere. I just can't move around in my apartment. I'm making $8, $9, $10,000 a month selling t-shirts out of my apartment. I need a spot. Okay, how much is the spot gonna cost me? Spot's gonna cost you $1,500 a month. Or you're making $10,000 a month selling t-shirts out of your house right now, then yeah, it makes sense for you to go ahead and scale up. But a lot of people have the game flipped in their head. They're making $1,000 a month selling t-shirts out of their house, and they're saying the only way I'm going to make more money is if I have a storefront. That's not it. It's not it. Because now you're putting yourself upside down out of the gate. Now you're putting yourself under a whole lot of pressure because now you got at least $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 a month. Now you're putting pressure on yourself to sell these t-shirts. The reason that you were able to make so much money selling the t-shirts because you had no pressure. Because you're making the t-shirts in your part-time and you had a job that was taking care of your bills. So this is extra money. So when you're talking to people about your t-shirts order and selling your t-shirts, you're real loose. You're not under pressure. You never pressure anybody to buy anybody. You're not pressuring anybody to place no orders with you. But you go out and you get that lease. Your whole dynamic changes. You want to choke somebody out if they don't order a t-shirt from you because you're under pressure, right? It's not how it works, man. You got to be strategic, especially in the developmental phase. Another problem that most people have in entrepreneurship, let me put this link in here, right? It's access to capital. Right? If you go to bizcredithelper.com and you're seriously ready to take the next step in your business, I want you to go to bizcredithelper.com first, because your business credibility determines if you're going to be able to get access to funding down the road. And business credibility is not about business credit. This is the precursor to business credit. This is all of the things that people who offer business credit and business funding are going to look at when they check your business out to see if they want to deal with you from a business credit perspective. Is your business set up in a way that's credible? When I do my due diligence as a financer, looking to extend to you credit, looking to extend to you net 30 on some of the products that you're going to use to build your business. When I check your business out, does everything match? That's your business credibility. Without credibility, you're not getting any credit. You're not getting access to capital. So there's a free webinar on that link that will help you to determine what you need to do to set up your business credibility. Let's go on to number 4. Number 4, is the big G. Again, let me share my screen, but the way they got these ads running on this thing, man, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see any of the pictures, right? Nevertheless, number 4 is Google, right? Originally nicknamed Backrub, the PageRank technology that defined Google was created by Sergey Brin and Larry Page in 1996. Brin and Page founded Google while they were getting their PhDs at Stanford. Their goal was simple. They wanted to create a place where you could find anything. But instead of using the number of times a search term appeared on a page as a primary method, like most search engines of the day, Brin and Page focused on better systems that analyze the relationships between websites. Working on the Google project from their dorm room, they were reluctant to become entrepreneurs because they didn't want to shelve their PhDs and rush into the hype of the dot-com craze. But after Google began to receive about 10,000 searches a day, they decided to take it seriously. Google was initially based in the garage of a friend in Menlo Park, California. The company went public in 2004. As of 2016, Google averages 100 billion monthly searches. 100 billion monthly searches, right? Here's another thing that we have to look at. Are you letting status hold you back? Ask yourself this question. Is status holding you back? These guys were pursuing PhDs, right? They're thinking about their intellect. They're thinking about their status, right? They're thinking about, man, what does it look like me having a PhD play around with this web thing? What does that look like? I got to keep focusing on my study, right? Are you letting your status hold you back? Are you letting the pressure of traditionalism hold you back? Right? Are you letting expectations of others hold you back? Why are you doing that and you got this good job over here? Is what people will often say, because the dream wasn't downloaded to them. The vision wasn't embedded in them. So because they can't see it, they don't understand it. And they're saying, you're blowing it, kid. You about to mess up this good job. You about to walk away from this good career. You a PhD. There's so much you can do with that PhD. I don't know if that PhD would have built $100 billion company. Are you able and willing to walk the path that is carved out for you based on the downloads that you receive, based on the gifts, the talents, the passions, the purpose that you were put on this planet for? That's what's important. They made a pivot. They were studying. They saw an opportunity. They weighed their options. And one of the things that you have to do when you're weighing your options is you have to consider all things. It's like, yeah, the dot-com bubble is going on and people are creating stupid money, but there's a lot of people losing their shirts. All right, well, let's set a benchmark and a parameter. Hey, this is something that we were kind of playing around with, something that we wanted to create. Yeah, it's our baby, but let's say until we get to a certain mark, we're not even going to take this thing seriously. But we need a sign that says, hey, this is the true pivot for you. If this thing gets to 10,000 searches a day, then we'll know it's real. And I'm not saying that's what they said as a benchmark, but if you are struggling in that place, set a benchmark and say, hey, listen, if on a part-time basis, I can get this thing to this, then I'll give it a little bit more of my time, energy, and attentiveness. And then you give it a little bit more time, energy, and you say, okay, with a few extra hours, I won't give up my job, but I was doing it after work every day, Monday through Friday. Now, if I put in 4 hours on Saturday, plus the couple hours I'm giving it Monday through Friday, let me see if I can get it from here to here. And then if it graduates from here to here, then you might say, okay, if I really put in the hours, like 4 hours a day, every day after work, plus my 4 hours on Saturday, can I get it from here to here? And then when it goes from here to here, then it's evident that every time you give it a little bit more time, it starts performing a little bit better. Then the question becomes, if I give it all of my time, what can it become then? What can it become then? Eliani, I see you. What's going on? Israel said, this is so timely. This is so timely. Thanks for this resource. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Danita Smith, that's real. You have to keep setting more goals as you reach them. Yeah, you got to say, okay, listen, I'm starting to see that this pivot is real, but then you also have to be honest with yourself to say, listen, there's a difference between a job and your work, right? Is this the work that you would put on this planet to do, right? How do you get there? All right, let's look at these last few, and let me know if you guys got any questions. We'll do a quick Q&A session as well. If you got a business, a brand idea, if you're trying to start a business, trying to start a brand, you need some help getting through from one place to the next. Let's talk about that real quick before we get out of here. So let's go to number 3, right? This one is one of my favorites, right? Let me go to the name of the company. It's Minecraft. Minecraft is number 3. In the beginning, Minecraft was developed by Swedish programmer Marcus Persson. It was later taken over by Mojang. It is second only to Tetris in being the best-selling computer game. It also currently holds the title for most downloaded game ever. Parsons started working on Minecraft while working a full-time job. Once the game began to gain popularity, he quit his job to work on Minecraft. In 2015, he sold his company for $2.5 billion. Here's something else that we've got to get good at or better at, especially as parents. Our children fall in love with a lot of different things. And a lot of times, because of traditionalism, we're trying to take their passions and their dreams away from them and steer their focus onto the things that traditional society says that we should be steering them onto. Boy, put that video game down and study. Put that video game down, you're wasting time. Instead of saying, what is it about this video game that you love so much? Oh, Mama, I just love the graphics. I love the imagination. Have you ever tried to, would you be interested in learning how to create graphics like this that could one day find its way in the video game? Oh, Mama, I would love that. Okay, good. Well, I want you to keep playing your game, but we're going to have to take some of your game time, and you're going to go over here to this called Color-Coded Kids, and they're going to teach you how these games work from the inside. And they're going to teach you how to build some of these games. Would that be cool with you? But traditionalism says that our kids are wasting time playing these games. And you as a parent don't want to raise a loser kid. So is it really about you telling the kid to walk away from their passion? Or is it about the kid? A lot of times it's about us. I don't want to be seen as a failure as a parent who has a grown kid who spends all of his days playing video games. Let me tell y'all something, man. My son plays basketball. And when he was a junior going into his senior year, we went to a couple colleges for him to work out at. We go to, I think it was Columbia University. Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. And we're walking around the campus. Does his workout thing, and we didn't have time to sit with the coaches and that kind of stuff. And then we're just getting a tour of the campus. We're walking around the campus, and we see this little building off to the side. After we pass through the administration building, we look at some of the athletic facilities, the gyms, the fitness rooms, and all that. And there's this little building over there, and we're like, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, that's our gaming facility. Yeah, we have a gaming team here at the university, and they compete worldwide in gaming tournaments on behalf of the university. And we give about 12 scholarships a year for gaming students. And when we snatched the game away from our kids and told them not to take it serious, never mind that they could have ultimately become gaming designers, console creators, and all of the things that go into creating games, the graphics, the artworks, the cartoons, the music that are in the games, all that stuff. There's huge opportunities in gaming that most are not even aware of because they don't see the entrepreneurial side of it, right? But we told our kids to don't trip off the game. But now there's professional gamers that can win $100,000 in a tournament, that could get sponsorship and be sponsored to play video games to the tune of millions of dollars. But our pride and our ego as parents is, in order for me to be rated a good parent, I need you to graduate from high school with honors because I get to puff my chest out. I need you to go to school and graduate from college and get you a degree. So when I'm talking to my friends, I can poke my chest out. Never mind what you are passionate about. I need you to do this so I can poke my chest out. And when you're old enough to make your own decisions, then you go chasing your dreams and your passions. We got to be careful with that, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be careful with that. There's certain things that your kids need to know as it relates to formal education. I get it. But there's also certain things that your children need to know about life, about ambition, about dreams, about goals, about where their heart is pulling them, about imagination and creativity, about fulfillment. I want y'all to think about it. In a lot of cases, we as parents are not fulfilled in our lives based on the path that we chose that landed us where we are. And we're not fulfilled, but yet we're going to beat that path into our children. Oh, y'all got to get, I'm going to run that one back, man, because y'all got to get that. We have landed in a place socially, economically, spiritually, emotionally, because we followed a particular path. And that path, because everybody else followed that path, seemed normal to us. And it seemed like the right thing to do. And at the end of that path, we are now in a place where we are not fulfilled. And we're dying on the inside every day because we're not fulfilled. There's no joy. There's no happiness. The things that we do every day are not bringing us peace. But yet, still, we're cracking the whip on our children and running them down the same path with no variation, the exact same path. Go to school, get your degree, get your job, chase the job that's got the benefits, that's going to pay you the most, irregardless of whether or not that's going to fulfill your spirit. Do it anyway. So when you get to 46 years old, like me, you can be where I am, you can have what I have, and not be fulfilled. And the funny thing is, we'll say, I want you to be better than me. How in the world can they be better than you if they do exactly what you did? All right, man, let me get off that soapbox. Let me go on to these last couple. All right. So number 3 was Minecraft. Number 2 is Spanx. Let me show you guys. I stopped showing my screen, man, because they're running out a boatload of ads. As the longer, I guess, I stay on this website, the more ads are running. But let's look at number 2, billion-dollar company that started at home. Spanx, right? This is for the ladies. Spanx. Sarah Blakely took her $5,000 savings to start up Spanx. During an appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Blakely told Winfrey that she got the idea for Spanx after hearing Oprah mention that she cut off the feet of her pantyhose in order to wear them with sandals. It took her a year to create the first prototype that she tried out on friends and family, which was unheard of at the time. She was running the company out of her apartment and was still a fax machine salesperson at the time. Since Spanx is a private company and does not release financial information, we do not know the annual revenue of the company. However, we do know that Blakely owns the entirety of the brand. She is now reported worth $1.1 billion. I'm gonna do this thing on the side. I'm gonna keep selling these fax machines, but I'm building something here. Selling these fax machines are going to keep the bills paid around here. It's going to give me seed money to invest into my business. Listen, man, they said she took $5,000 savings and started Spanx. How many of you guys would be willing to invest $5,000 that it took you 20 years to save? Would you be willing to invest that in a business? To build a prototype? I'm sure she has some bumps and bruises along the way. She has some ups and some downs. I'm sure she has some family that didn't support. She has some family that thought she was crazy, thought she was nuts. Listen, Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, says each one of us is given a minimum of 4 multi-million-dollar ideas every single year if we would just act on them. She's sitting down listening to the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she heard Oprah say, you know what? I like the way the pantyhose keep me in shape and shape my body, but sometimes I want to wear sandals. So I cut the feet off the pantyhose so that I can still wear my sandals. And bing, a multi-million-dollar idea was formed. But she didn't just stop with the formation of the idea. She received the download, bang, and she acted on it. The last time you got that multi-million-dollar download, what did you do with it? The last time you got that multi-million-dollar download, what did you do with it? Did you even try to bring it to life? Did you at least write it down? Hey, if you ain't gonna do nothing with it, did you pass it on to somebody else? What did you do with the last multi-million dollar download that you received? What are you going to do with the next one? What are you going to do with the next one? Because they're going to keep coming roughly every quarter. Something happens in your life and you think, man, if somebody did this, that, and the other, man, that would be amazing. And that's usually how it comes to us. We say, man, if there was this, if somebody did this, no, the download came to you. But a lot of times, because of negative self-talk, we beat ourselves up. We don't believe in ourselves the way we should. We immediately try to project it onto somebody else. Man, I have so many people because I've developed a reputation as the person who is always trying something, right? So I always have people coming to me, Cortez, you should do this. It'll blow up. It'll be amazing. That download didn't come to me. You should do that. Man, Cortez, have you ever thought about this? No, but you're thinking about that. You should do it. What did you do with the last $1 million download that you received? What are you going to do with the next one that you receive? Do not despise humble beginnings, ladies and gentlemen. Do not despise humble beginnings. It's very, very easy to downplay your gifts, your talents. It's very, very easy to not believe in yourself. It's very, very easy to stay in the area of mediocrity, below average. But remember, there's only one person required to believe. That's all it takes. God gave you whatever he gave you. And the only person required to believe is you. Stop thinking about whether or not your spouse believes in you. Stop thinking about whether or not your children, your kids, your friends, your family. Stop thinking about whether your co-workers, your neighbors, your best friend. The only person required to believe is you. And all you got to do, based on that belief, is take action. What we tend to do is if we can't see all of the steps, then we don't take the steps that we do see. If we don't see all 40 steps to the end of the process, we don't take the first 3 steps that we see. It's like walking in fog, right? How many of you guys have ever been in a real dense fog, right? When you're in a dense fog, you look out and you can only see so many feet in front of your face, right? But every time you walk 3 feet, you can see the next 3 feet. You can't see the end of your street when there's a heavy fog outside, but it's your street. So you know what to expect on your street. You take 3 steps, then you can see 3 steps further. You take 3 steps and you can see 3 steps further. The same way with the pursuit of your dreams. Take the 3 steps that you see in front of you, and then the next 3 steps will reveal themselves. And then you take those 3 steps and the next 3 steps will reveal themselves. And before long, you're going to look back and you've taken 40 steps and you've got something that's fulfilling, something that you built, something that came from the imagination of your intellectual capital. And now it is living, breathing entity that you created. Do not, my friends, despise humble beginnings. We didn't get any questions for Q&A, so we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up today. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Until next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.